Jose couldn't do it. Nobody else. He did it. So fair play to Ange. Fair play to Tottenham because I'm not here to banter Tottenham. Tottenham or Tottenham, like whatever. I know some people are gonna go off their agendas about Arsenal win a trophy, whatever, this and that. Hey man, they did what they had to do. They beat United. My issue with United is much bigger than this final because win, lose, or draw, I was gonna come here vexed already. I didn't care. The trophy wasn't hiding the bullshit that I see.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely not.
Real eyes recognize real lies. And I know what bullshit is going on at this club. There's too many crap players and too many fans who love these crap players telling me, oh, it shouldn't be a team that's not 16th. They deserve to be exactly where they are. Okay. The coaching, the fans, the kid, everybody deserves this United. We
Bro, United.
Oh.
I said this before and I'll say it again. United fans, we're part of the reason this club is so shit right now. I want you guys to know that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show. This is the Manchester United edition. I'm your host, Tosin, alongside Tomi. We haven't done this in a while because you get to understand why we have on this in a while after you listen to this episode. Before I introduce Tomi and let Tomi talk, I have to have the floor for a second so I can paint the picture because I'm a natural storyteller.
All yours.
Manchester United Football Club have been in a rut since 2005, ever since the Glazer family took over. What has happened since in those 20 years since has been a lot of papering over the cracks, a lot of mismanagement, a lot of poor recruitment, and what you've seen in 2024-25 is a culmination of those 20 years. I don't want to hear nothing about Ineos. I don't want to hear nothing about Jim Ratcliffe. I don't want to hear nothing about Ruben Amorim. Yes, they can hold a higher standard, but to Buck stops with the ownership of the Glazers. That's where it starts and stops. Before anybody even comes to me and tells me, oh, the play is this, the play is that, we have a lot of bad players. There's a lot of these players, like maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, if I'm pushing, that should stay. But a lot of these players aren't good. Now, this comes down to poor ownership, right? I'm a big fan of the Baltimore Ravens, as you can tell from my thing back there. I have two teams that are run differently. I have Baltimore Ravens, who are consistently one of the best teams in the NFL. Only one team can win each year. They're not going to win every trophy every year because that's the way it is. But the Ravens are consistently up top because you know why? They got good ownership, and it pulls down to recruitment, it boils down to coaching, it boils down to everything. Manchester United on the other spectrum, where poor ownership, poor recruitment, poor management leads into poor coaching and poor players and poor preparation. You look at Arsenal, and I hate to bring up Arsenal in this podcast. Arsenal, perfect example of what it looks like when your ownership cares and when your ownership actually comes in and builds. I understand Mikel Arteta has not won a trophy since the FA Cup. I get that. 100% get that. What I want you guys to understand is Mikel Arteta will never be the Europa League final because his team are consistently good. That's why they're not here. That's why, for me, Manchester United Football Club are struggling because they don't have any good recruitment from top-down management, and it is what it is. So when we start this podcast, I want you guys to listen to that because I'm tired of everybody blaming the players, blaming this, blaming that. No, it starts from the Glazer family down. This is 20 years of mismanagement. Sorry, Tommy. Let's talk.
You're good. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, you're good. It's not. There's no like it. Like you said, it's the Glazers. Like there's no if, ands, or buts about it. And we're gonna, like you said, we're gonna talk about this game, and this game then we can get into more the micro, but the macro is the Glazers this season. The Glazers, and you've been a fan longer than I have. Like you're older than me, but like I've still been a fan of United for like 20 plus years. Like I'm 27. I've been a fan for United for like 20 plus years since I can remember. Every opportunity they've had to make a correct decision to reverse a bad one, they've doubled down. A great example. Like this is just a quick example. I'm not even going to get too deep because we all know what they are. Sir Alex left. Sir Alex left, right? Pep was on sabbatical. You could have gone to get Pep. What did or even Jose Mourinho in his prime? What did they do? They went to Everton to pick up David Moyes. It's a domino effect of just stupidity after stupidity. Okay, and then you people like, oh, this player, man, why are you spending so much money on him? It's all goes back to the Glazers. They're run horribly. They are run horribly. And when the head of the for United, let's say it's a family, when the head of the family is fucking up, it's going to trickle down. This is Reaganomics of football. Like that's all it is. So yeah, but the game today, God man, it first of all, it was a bad game overall. Like it was not a good game.
No, it was not. And I understand people saying get rid of the coach. I understand that. Like I'm not here to like gaslight or absolve anybody for saying if you want to get rid of Ruben, please by all means do that. But the issue is going to remain here. United have recruited horribly. Rasmus Hoyland, and I'm not trying to berate this guy. I'm really, really trying my hardest not to berate him, right? I've been a fan of Manchester United Football Club since Andy Cole joined in 1995. In my 30 years of watching Manchester United Football Club, I am talking about 30 years, hard labor of watching United, right? I remember as a time my grandfather almost beat me because I turned this TV off to watch United. It was a Fulham game in 2000. I'll never forget that. My grandfather almost whooped my ass, and my dad had tell him to chill out. I'll never forget that. I am 10 years old. In my life, I have never, in my 35 going on years of life, never seen a football player, a striker, ever worse than Rasmus Højlund. And this is me seeing everything. I've seen R9's prime. I've seen Lamine Yamal coming into it. I've seen Romario. I've seen Stoikov. I can name any striker you can think of. I've watched the MLS. Rasmus Højlund currently, this is no offense to him as a human being, but as a professional football player whose job is to get goals, to set up strikers, to set up his teammates, to set up everybody else, he's not good at his job. Point blank, period. And I'm not trying to be rude to him, but we have to call a spade a spade. He's not good at his job. We saw over the weekend what a striker does in a three-back system with one striker. We saw what Mateta did when he sent Eze through. We saw what happens when you get your crosses in early, right? We saw what happens when you have progressive midfielders because Crystal Palace are better midfielders than us. Let's call a spade, right? They do. Adam Wharton is starting for us week in and week out.
Easily, easily.
Eze starting for us week in and week out. Munoz will start for us week in and week out. Mateta will as well. Dean Henderson will start for us week in and week out.
We're gonna when I want you to finish talking about Rasmus, and I'm gonna chime in. But when it gets to the midfield, that I want to talk about that, please. But yeah,
Striker, right? I didn't make it professional. I didn't at all, but I did play, right? And I've seen enough strikers in my life, and I know what a striker's supposed to do, and what a striker's not supposed to do. Rasmus Højlund does everything wrong, from his touches, from his runs, from his hold up play. Every single thing this guy has done is bad. And I'm tired of people telling me, oh, this isn't a good squad. This is not a good Manchester United football club. Don't lie to me, okay? Don't lie to me because I remember the wars when we were going to hybrid. I remember those games. This is not a Manchester United squad that is fitting of the badge, okay? 17 years ago, we won a Champions League final. 17 years ago, I remember that against Chelsea. To this day, this is the exact day that we won the Champions League title. Compare that squad to now, there is maybe who will get into that squad from this team? Lenny Euro might make it, Kobe Mano might make it, Garnacho might make it, and that's really about it. Ahmad, right? Out of everybody. Go ahead. You go ahead. You saying what?
I said Bruno might come off the bench. Even then, it's iffy. But like you said, not many people are making it to that squad. I'm lit because I remember that final too. Like you said, I watched that final. Not many people making that squad. But like Rasmus Højlund, like you said, I'm gonna attack a few points that people use online to try to gaslight us. Right? They always say, I know you remember this last season. They were like, oh, Rasmus not getting service. I said, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm tweaking, right? This was last season. I said, I'm going to sit down and just focus on him. I watched that man. He makes the worst runs I've ever seen in my life. I've been watching football for a while. I've been playing football for a while. I've played with and against people who've gone pro, who've gone to semi-pro, who've played D1, all that stuff. I've done I'm not again, I'm not I didn't make it pro. I'm nothing special, but I've been around people who have made it pro. I've been around them. I've spoken to them. I've
One
seen them play.
second. You see those medals right there? That means my team was the best in America youth wise. So I've seen talent. But go ahead.
I'm a coach. I've coached in the Maryland State Cup semis. Okay, I'm gonna brag here. My first year coaching high school, I led my team. I led my school to their first ever county championship, the county championship final. I know football. I don't care what you guys say. I know football. Rasmus Højlund cannot make runs.
Can I double down on your point? Because I'm looking at Man United jersey. Remember that jersey? That's the '08 year.
Yeah,
Teammate was on trial with Manchester United during that time. Okay.
and I remember. You told me the story and you told me the name, and I was like, I know that name.
Yeah.
I know that name.
Gatorade Player
Football.
of the Year.
Yeah, football in Maryland is very big. It's very big and it's very good. Like Maryland produces some of the best players. Like go look at every MLS team. Go look at Brody and most American kids you see. They're from around this area. But Rasmus Hoyland, and it's this season, he somehow got worse. So now people are acting like Dorgu cannot cross or stuff like that. But when you see the crosses they are giving him, they are putting it where they expect a competent, not even a great striker, a competent striker to be. And he's not there. And he's just not there. Right? But he's awful. He's awful. Like flat out. Like you said, I don't want to disparage him. He's better than me, all that stuff. But just objectively speaking, he's not a good striker. He's not a good player.
What blows my mind is when people watch a United game and say, "Oh, these players are bad." I'm like, what do you think we've been saying for the last 8 months? What do you think the coach sees every single day? What do you think? What do you think that these players are seeing? You're about to talk about midfield. Before you wax lyrical, I am not a fan of Bruno Fernandes in this game. He shied away and he was not good. But the floor is yours. You're the midfield expert. That's your thing. Go ahead, talk to me about the midfield.
Bruno was not good this game, and he was not good in the Europa League final loss against Ole too. Bruno just wasn't good. He was there was a time when we're down, right? Euro played a crossfield ball to him. He was on the wing. No one was there around him. He could have brought it down and driven, either gotten a crossfield shot or steadied the ball, wait for people to make moves to get open. He tried to play a one-time ball. It went backwards. Spurs got it, right? But the biggest culprit in the midfield today was Mason Mount. I'm sick of you people lying to me about Mason Mount, okay? We should never have bought him from Chelsea for that price. If we got him for free, I may have been nicer. That man was a ghost. He was on the field for 70 minutes and he was a ghost. He did nothing today. He was not he he didn't help progress the ball. He wasn't winning the ball. He wasn't getting shots off. He wasn't getting the ball to the attackers. He's not it. Also, and still speaking on the midfield thing, it does not make sense for this is where I'm not gonna be critical on Amarin from here because like there's only so much you can do. I don't like Bruno as a center mid. Guys, we have to stop this. Bruno is he you know what KDB was at Wolfsburg?
Yeah.
Bruno is a more like I don't say maxed out, but he's that. Keep him as close to the box as possible. Let him create, let him shoot, let him pass. Bringing him back is stupid. Y'all know who should be in the center mid that you people want to get rid of? Kobe Mino. He's our best midfielder at receiving this ball with his back to goal and turning and driving up the field. He's one of our best ball progressors at any position on this team. His passing was not where it should have been, but again, he's 19. He just turned 20, or I think he just turned 19 even. It's improved this season. He should have started. I would have bench Mount, push Bruno up, and have Cass and Mino there, right? That's what should have happened. But the midfield today was awful. We weren't creating. If you notice, towards the end of the game, everything we try to do, we would just try to start spreading it out wide and hopefully to get crosses in. There was no, and when a team plays a low block, you know how you break them down? You move the ball quickly from side to side. You have people in the midfield, boom, 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 one touch it, keep the ball moving. When that space opens, you either play the ball or then you get a crossing. There was none of that. Those players, they were just going out wide and praying Ahmad could do something one-on-one or praying for a Luke Shaw overlap. That's what, like, it's ridiculous. The quality on display was absolutely garbage from this midfield today. Casemiro, I try not to be too harsh on Casemiro because he comes and goes and like he's the legend in the game, but it's time for him to. You people that say after he scored a couple goals, let's renew it. I really want you guys to stop being prisoners of the moment. It's the same thing y'all did with Mount when we were up 4-2 on aggregate already, and he scored that goal. It was a nice goal, but you people like see what Mason Mount does? No. Stop being prisoners of the moment. Look at the whole fucking picture. And the whole picture, we need a whole new midfield. Casemiro cannot stay. Mount cannot stay. Bruno, I love you, but it's getting up there. I genuinely think Bruno's a legend in this club and all that stuff. But if we can't rely on you in moments like this, it's either we get someone to help him or we just completely replace him. And I don't want to replace Bruno. I think we need to get someone to help him there, right? Which is why I'm pushing for Shirky in that 10 role to help create. Those creative numbers are not a fluke.
Yeah.
That's someone that can help him there.
Yeah.
And in the center midfield, the person you said at Crystal Palace, Adam Wharton, that's who should be partnering Mino.
I'll give you a much cheaper option too. Man United should go all in for Angelo Stiller. And I'm not joking.
Yeah, at Stuttgart, that's another one. Yes.
And this is my thing with United fans and like fans. Like I can sit here and say, yes, Ruben might not tactically be it. He might not be good. I'm not here to
No, hold on, wait. I'm sorry to cut you off. Ruben, you know how I feel about Ruben. I tell you how I feel about him. I'm more not. I don't say anti-Amarim because like I don't want to make it seem like I want the guy fired, but he does have to answer for some stuff. Absolutely, absolutely, he does have to answer for some stuff, but his hands are tied a little bit, and I will give him that. But yeah, continue.
We're 16th and we have nothing to show for this season. We're 16th. And I don't know what I wanted to say or how I wanted to say it, but I have a vision in my head of what I want to say. Excuse me, my do-rag is slipping off my head. I am very, very just genuinely confused as to what people watch on the pitch, right? You can see certain players who are good and certain players who are not good. Lenny Euro today stood out like a sore thumb. Ahmad wasn't his best, but you can tell Ahmad has something about him. Patrick Dorgu, as much as people want to talk crap about him, there's a special play in Patrick Dorgu. I do not care what you say.
This Dorgu impressed me today, and y'all know why I have so much patience for Dorgu. He's not a liability on the defensive end. The attacking thing, people need to understand this about young attackers, especially. Young attackers are dumb. They don't know how to slow the game down. That's what you need to do as an attacker. You need to slow the game down. You know when to speed it up, when to like pausa, as they say in that's I butchered that shit. Whatever. You need to know when to speed the game up, when to slow down. Dorgu, that will come with time. But I have infinite time for Dorgu because first of all, he can cross. You guys just don't know what you're looking at. And he's not a liability on the defensive end. The amount of one-on-ones he stopped today by himself.
He did one against Son. Clean tackle. But again, like I can go through this list of these players, like Andre Nana, like he's so shaky. I think the own goal kind of summed up the state of both teams. I think both teams are really, really pathetic. Congratulations to Tottenham for winning. I mean, first trophy since '08, recession indicator. And did talk the shit and say he wins stuff in the second year. So fair
Hey,
play
I
to
mean,
Ange.
that's a crazy, bro. I always win stuff like, and he backed it.
Talk your shit and back it. That goes for everything in life and anything in life. Talk your motherfucking shit.
They stand on it.
And stand on it and let everybody know, hey, I'm here with my two balls, my words, and I said what I had to say, and I'm
He did. And even the remember the press conference when the reporter that called him a clown, he looked at it, I'm not a clown.
Yeah.
And now this nigga has a medal to look who's I be clown. Oh my gosh.
All the Tottenham managers happened over the last 17 years. He's the only one to win the trophy in these last 17 years. Jose couldn't do it. Nobody else. He did it. So fair play to Ange. Fair play to Tottenham because I'm not here to banter Tottenham. Tottenham or Tottenham, like whatever. I know some people are gonna go off their agendas about Arsenal win the trophy, whatever, this and that. Hey man, they did what they had to do. They beat United. My issue with United is much bigger than this final because win, lose, or draw. I was gonna come here vexed already. I didn't care. The trophy wasn't hiding the bullshit that I see.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely not.
Real eyes recognize real lies. And I know what bullshit is going on at this club. There's too many crap players and too many fans who love these crap players telling me, oh, it shouldn't be a team that's not 16th. They deserve to be exactly where they are. Okay. The coaching, the fans, the kid, everybody deserves this United.
Bro, United, I said this before and I'll say it again. United fans, we're part of the reason this club is so shit right now. I want you guys to know that. Like
your standards of quality is not good.
The blood is on you guys' hands.
Like you guys advocate for some of the worst players I've seen in my life. Like Mason Mount, he seems like a nice guy, but that's not a good football player.
Listen, this is going to be mean. This is going to be mean. I don't have any time for Mason Mount as a person or a player. I don't care how nice he is. I don't care his daddy was a United fan. I don't give a damn. That man, I came in there looking at that man under the microscope and he failed every single test. Every single test. can't stay fit. When he's fit, he can't play. He like what the idea of Mason Mount has you people like in a chokehold, and I don't get it. And like you said, advocating for the worst players. People want Casemiro to get a new contract. Are you daft? Please.
I'm just looking at this squad right now. Let me pull up Manchester United squad because I'm trying to see who on this team that you would keep, right?
Yeah. Onana. I listen. Why you look up the squad? Why you look up the squad? I'll start the Onana. Go. Onana's gone. I don't. I have.
We're on Wikipedia, right? And
Mhm.
it'd be a nice little exercise for us to do. Buy in there.
Gone.
Victor Lindelof.
Wait, what do you think about you? Do you keep him binder or gone too?
If I disagree with you, I'll tell you. Just think
Okay. Oh, Lindelof gone.
Mazarawi,
Keep.
Delit,
Keep.
Mags.
That one is borderline. I can't lie to you. It's borderline. Some days I'm like, yeah, it's just time for him to move on. And like today, yeah, move on in like an amicable way. Like no animosity, but it's just time for you to shift. Yeah,
Lissandro Martinez,
keep. I'll always have time for him.
Mason Mount,
Fuck off.
Bruno Fernandez.
Keep. Keep this season out.
Unless that big Saudi bag comes in.
Hey, yeah, if that big Saudi bag comes in, hey, cash and leave. But overall, I think he's been amazing this season. So I won't let this game cloud my judgment too much. But so keep. I
Rasmus,
love Saudi. Rasmus, fuck off.
Xerxes.
Keep.
He was decent today too.
I like it, bro. He was trying. He was trying.
Dorgu,
Keep.
Ericsson has to go. His contract's up anyway. The next two, I'm not even gonna mention. Ahmad and Lenny are staying. There's no.
Yeah, you're listen. Not only are you staying, I'm shackling you to Old Trafford. You're not going anywhere.
Garnacho,
Hey, Nacho, man, it's not been good. It's time to go.
Casemiro,
Yeah, you can go too.
Diogo
I'll
Dalot,
salute you on your way out, Casemiro, but you can go.
Diogo Dalot,
Go, go, go.
Tom Heaton, uh,
Man,
Luke Shaw.
oh, I can't believe I forgot about that. Yeah,
Listen, man. I'm a big fan of Luke Shaw when he was healthy, but bro, I just don't got time for Luke Shaw no more, man.
no, I don't.
I don't have time for Luke Shaw no more. Today was one of those days I looked at Luke Shaw. It's like it's over, man.
Yeah,
It's over. Onana, exactly, gone. Ugarte,
Ugarte. Yeah, if if I will be willing to, no, never mind. I can't. I was gonna say I would be willing to keep Ugarte if he can come off the bench,
no, don't do that. No,
but like 60 million bench warmer, you have to go.
Aiden Heaven has to stay.
Yo, stay.
Pop smoke.
Stay.
Johnny Evans,
I'm not gonna lie, we missed Heaven and Delit today.
yeah. Johnny Evans,
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you
legend.
did good. You'll be a dad, man.
Harry Amos and Kobe stay. All right.
Stay. Yeah.
Toby Collier, I'm sorry, I would get rid of Toby Collier.
Hey, bring me Maxi back and tell Toby Collier to go back to the docks, man.
Tyler Fredrickson,
I don't think like he's a good player.
yeah.
I don't think I've seen enough to like. Yeah.
Cheetah Obi obviously stays.
Yeah. Stay.
But man, we are, this is not a good team. Like, let's go the names I just named.
I
Like,
think.
generally, like, and I want everybody who's listening, if you're United fan, not United fan, how many of those players would you want on your team?
Yeah. And also, wait, not even like let me even talk about like the stays. I think we said like 7 or 8 people to stay.
Yeah.
How many are you starting? Like how many will you start? Ahmad?
Let me go back to it. I am starting Ahmad, Lenny, Dorgu, and Bruno and Kobe. So 5.
Five. And you need a team of 11. And then with subs. And won't have 5 starter quality players. And no striker. And like and also, I don't think people understand the spine of a team is very important, right? So out of the people you just named, the spine is those the goalkeeper, midfielder, striker.
And center back.
And yeah, center back too. Out of the people we just said to start, we named 1 striker, I mean, I said we named one center back, one and two midfielders. Like, what do you build? That's a scoliosis spine, fam. Nothing getting built.
Look, we could sit here and talk ad nauseum all day. Congratulations to Tottenham, right? You guys did your
So,
thing. Fuck them for real, bruh. There's nothing good about this Manchester United squad, and that's my point of me ranting and me talking. Is just like you gotta stop saying like good coaching will make this team better. It's not a good team. It's a team built in the likes of Eric Ten Hag, who spent 600 million plus.
God will punish that missus.
Recruitment. Like you look at all the signings that Eric Ten Hag made. Like I'm actually gonna look at some of the signings like that he made because
No, why you're talking about why you're looking up the signings? I want to talk about the sales he made.
okay.
He's a
So we bought him Anthony, Rasmus, Casemiro, Mount, Euro, Lissandro, Ugarte, Onana, Delit, Xerxes, Maserati, Malasia, Ericsson, and I'm sure there's a few others here and there. But 300 million on Anthony Hoyland and Casemiro Mount was crazy and nasty work. That is nasty, nasty, nasty work. Because there's so many good football players you could have spent that money on.
for 300. I promise you, bro, that's money laundering.
And there's one more thing I want to say about everyone saying that Ruben Amorim needs his players. It's not about Ruben Amorim needing his players. Manchester United need good players, period. I
Yeah,
don't care who the coach is. You can bring in Xavi, you can bring in Hansi Flick,
we're gonna bring in Chavi.
you can bring in, you know, Thomas Tuchel, you can bring in Gareth Southgate. I don't care who you bring in, right? The point of the matter is, point blank period, Manchester United Football Club needs to recruit a lot better. There's no quality football players on this team. The reason why Arne Slot won a title in his first year is because he got left behind a great squad.
Bro, that man got Salah, Van Dyke, and for McAllister as like, come on.
His spine, he has
Yeah,
arguably the best goalkeeper in the world. Arguably, right? Depending on who you ask. Could be T-Ball, but he has Allison, the best goalkeeper in the world, right? You have Virgil van Dijk, one of the best defenders to ever play. Next to him is Konate.
another no slouch either.
Then in the midfield, you have Alexis McAllister, who's a
Dog.
hell of a player. You have Ryan Gravenberg, who's a fantastic player. And
Yeah, he's coming in his own. And Sabasalai, he's not. I don't rate him, but he every now and then he does have a good game in him.
yes,
Like he's a good rotation option.
yes. And then on the wings, you have Salah, obviously, right? One of the greatest Premier League players to ever play, one of the greatest Africans to ever play. Your striker might not be all that. This is why they rotate Jota and put different people in there here,
Yeah.
right? So that's a few plays they might need help with. Look at Arsenal. I'm looking at the teams who are top 4, top 6,
Mhm.
right? Arsenal spine. Raya might not be the best, but Raya's solid. You got Saliba and Gabriel as your center backs.
Yeah.
Center midfielder pairing might not be the strongest. Why they getting Zubimendi over the summertime? They realize that they need to fix that part of their spine. That's fine. They don't already have a striker, but Kai Havertz does his thing when he's around. Even when they put Marino up top, he's figured it out.
Yeah.
I have Saka out there. They have Gabriel Martinelli. They have players who actually have a little bit of brain.
When you say brain, don't mention Martinelli. Saka though.
Yes,
I agree.
Saka. The only player better than Saka in this position right now is
Is Salah.
and
Yeah.
Yama. That's
Man.
that's
Yeah.
the pantheon of right wingers right now. And
Yeah.
that's the top 4, right? You now look at Man City, and I'm ranting and raving. I understand that people want to be bored, but I'm basically what I'm telling you that look at every big team's spine, and they can stand up straight. Inter Milan in the finals, PSG did surgery in the midfield, and that's why PSG are here because they have a really, really fucking great midfield. And hold on, let me finish. PSG have really, really good talents, right? But they're maximized by their coaching. It works hand in hand. You have 1, you have 2, you have 10 fingers. If you only have 5 fingers, you have no other arm. It doesn't go hand in hand. That's what I've been trying to tell United fans. Like, yes, I understand that Ruben has to do his job. And it goes to any manager comes in if Ruben gets fired this summer or not. United need better players, point blank, period. There's not enough quality in this team. That's my biggest issue with United fans constantly talking about the coaching. I get it. I 100% understand your frustration. I get why you're mad. But these players are not good, and I'm not trying to slight them at all because I know being a professional footballer is hard. My younger brother was a professional. My cousin was a professional. I understand what it's like to be away from your family, be away from your home country. I get it. I'm not here to absolve these players and tell them like, oh, they're bad. But objectively speaking, as we're talking about Manchester United Football Club, one of the biggest clubs in the world, who just lost to Tottenham in the final, we have to do some self-reflection, look in the mirror, and be honest with ourselves and say, hey, this is not a good team. It's not a good quality Manchester United side. And I'm sorry for ranting and raving all podcasts and hijacking it, but I'm very impassionate because I don't tweet as much as I used to. Okay. I keep a lot of these things in and I tell my homies, like, you know how I feel about the squad. But this is the reason why I don't do United podcast, because I'll be saying this week in and week out that this is not a good squad. The coaching has to be better. Recruitment has to be better. Ownership has to be better. That's all it is. It's like, stop trying to find fault in coaching. It's not just the coach's fault. The coach needs quality to play. If I'm going to a restaurant, right, and I ask the chef for a cheeseburger, but all he has is goat, all he has is fish, I'm not gonna get a cheeseburger, am I? No, he's gonna try and make the best he can with the ingredients that he has. If your ingredients are shit, you're gonna get a shit meal. If you have a decent kitchen, a decent meal, you're gonna get a decent meal. You have good food, great food, you're gonna have a great meal. That's all it is. Stop being so reactionary to what you're seeing in a day-to-day basis on the pitch. Stop being reactionary to 16th. 16th is a culmination of what we talked about from the beginning of poor ownership. Arsenal are the biggest example of what you see of a culture reset. Liverpool, a big culture reset because of Jurgen Klopp. City are reset because of Pep Guardiola. Yes, they were winning, but Pep has turned them to serial winners. You can boo them all you like, say all this stuff about how much illegal they're doing. I don't give a damn. PSG, another example of a good culture reset. They got rid of Mbappe and started getting more and more players who can play together. Real Madrid are struggling right now. Barcelona had a culture reset. You're starting to see the academy players. All the best teams in the world have resetted their culture and realized we have to figure out the recruitment first. Inter Milan are one of the best teams I've seen in recent memory. I've been watching them since Conte got there, right? What Inter did is an example of what Manchester United fans are not willing to understand. They had a coach who played a 3-5-2 in Conte, right? What did they do after Conte leaves? They get another manager who plays a 3-5-2, and they have a great spine. Bastoni is a top 5 center midfielder, top 5 center back in the world. Barella is a top 5 center midfielder in the world. Lautaro Martinez is a top 5 striker in the world. Jan Sommer is a decent goalkeeper, but your spine is solid. You have now implemented a 3-5-2 system, right? Since 2018. Of course, these players can play well in the 3-5-2 system. United have been doing it for 6 months, and they haven't had that much time to train. So what do you expect the coach to do? That's my rant. I'm so sorry I had to hijack that, but please go ahead.
No, you're fine. And like, 'cause what you're saying is true. It's like, again, I'm harsher on Amarim than you are. I do believe he does have to answer for some of these things. I think, like, I'll just use it as an example. I personally think he waited too long to make subs. I think at halftime, Mount Shaw should have been off. Garnacho and Dalot, Godfrey, or someone else should have been on, right? But like you said, these players do also, for lack of a better word, they stink. Like, they stink.
Can I double down on your point about this?
Yeah.
I would have gone to 4-3-3.
Yes.
I
Yes.
would have literally just taken off Luke Shaw and went with a 4-back of Mazarawi, Euro, Maguire, and
Dogu.
I would have put a 4-3-3. I would have had Cass at the base. I would have had Kobe box to box. I would have had Bruno as the 8. And on the wings, I would have had Ahmad, Garnacho, and then Rasmus. And then when Rasmus is gassed, you bring on Xerxes.
Yes.
My issue with Ruben Amorim, I can criticize him because I know that, hey, he's not the best sometimes. He's still naive. He's still 40 years old,
Yes.
young man. He's still naive and green, right? I understand that. But if you're going to invest in a 40-year-old manager and take him away from his club in the summer, in the middle of
In the middle of the season, yeah,
team is fighting for Champions League and the title
and this goes back to the owner thing like we're talking about. Instead of you guys to fire Ten Hag
in the summertime.
in the summer, like no, I want people to realize, we finished 16, worst finish ever, right? Ten Hag went back to back seasons with like he he had the worst season in Prem history for United. Then he had a worse one, and then had a worse start. You don't give that guy a third chance to fuck it up. Them giving him a third chance, that also plays into what we said about the owners being the Glazers being complicit in all of this. We can yell about the players, we can yell about Amorim, but in the macro, the Glazers are the blood is not on their hands. It's everywhere. But like going back to what you said, like this is where I'm gonna be a little bit critical of Amorim because I do think like I do think he does have to hold some corn for this. Waited too long to make subs. Wasn't flexible enough for my liking. Like you said, that 4-3-3, I was thinking that in my head, I'm like, okay, instead of you to just like, because we all knew he was going to throw Maguire up top, right? Instead of that to be your second option, why not try that 4-3-3? Why not switch it up a little bit? Not throw away your whole system, like not like abandon the 3-5-2 and never play it again. Switch it up in game. Switch it up in game.
You're fighting
But
for the title, right? Go
yeah,
do anything. Go do something.
go do something.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I'm very glad we lost to Tottenham. I'm so happy we lost and we're gonna have another trophy to paper over the cracks. Because now you have to look in the mirror and really figure it out. Because you hit rock bottom, point blank, period.
This is a make or break summer.
It's a make or break for everybody.
Yeah.
Because there ain't no money coming in, right? There ain't no money coming in. We're tight. And this is all for the Glazers too, because what are you gonna do? The club is billions of pounds in debt. They're trying to build a new stadium. They want to be up there with the top, but you don't have money because of your indecisions over 20 years. Glazer
Yep.
Governments has finally hit you that hard.
Yep.
No money. There's no your skin. So what are you gonna do? Right? That's it for me. Shout out to Tottenham for winning one more time. I'm not here to be a dickhead and like not congratulate them.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, all jokes aside, it's actually like I'm not gonna lie, like I'm a fan of the sport. So seeing them break that trophy drought, seeing like for example, Son, I have mixed feelings about Son. He's been there for how long? He's watched people leave and go win trophies.
Also,
Good for him.
when Van de Ven had that clearance when I knew we lost. When I saw
Yeah. Oh
yeah,
my day. No, I'm not gonna hold you. I think I felt we lost like a little bit at halftime when like it was in towards the second half when we just could not get the ball in the box. I'm like, damn. I like it's cooked. Holy hell. But real quick before we go, like how you were talking about, this is where I like to United fans only believe in like they don't believe in rotation or having good players off the bench too. So how you were talking about Inter Milan and about how Lautaro is a art. Honestly, Lautaro could have been on the Ballon d'Or podium last year or 2 years ago, and I wouldn't have been.
Copa America.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have been shocked.
Mhm.
But they take him off. Who do they bring on? Turan. Marcus Turan.
No, they play together.
Oh yeah, they're playing the two. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Marcus Turan supports him. They bring on Taremi. That's who they bring on. They bring on Taremi.
He's not good, but he still does a job. They bring on
He still does it's something. And like Marcus Turan was a bit available on the free. United fans are turning their nose up at him. Would that not have been a better option? Like Xerxes can start and Turan can come on, or Turan can start, Xerxes can come on. We have like, and then people be like, oh, selling Maxi Oyedele. He's killing it in the Polish league, killing it. He's playing for the national team. Clubs are sniffing around. Alvaro Fernandez. That could have helped us when Luke Shaw went to the chip shop and what's the other guy? Malasia was on maternity leave. You think that could have helped us?
Yeah.
That's all goes back to the owners. The owners. That's what I want to end with. The owners. From top to bottom, they have screwed the club over. The sales have been bad. The buys have been bad. It's ridiculous.
I mean, I'm going to have to tell you this real quick. 1 second, okay? Because I need to pull up facts before I speak what I'm about to say. So 6 days ago today was exactly 20 years since the Glazers took over Manchester United Football Club. May 23rd, 2020, May 23rd, 2005 is when the Glazers really took over Manchester United Football Club. And I was there. I remember we all said it was not a good thing that's going to happen. And this is 20 years of poor management, right? The New York Knicks is a perfect example of what happens when you fix your ownership. And I hate to do cross-sport comparisons because I'm ranting and raving. I'm trying to give people so many examples to use your number six. There's 5 senses. Number six is your common sense. Use your common sense. Use what's in between your ears. Light your dada. Open your ears and stretch out your ears. Listen to what I'm saying. The Knicks were a joke for a long time. You know what the Knicks did? They revamped their ownership. They revamped their recruitment. And guess what the New York Knicks are? 4 games away from an NBA Finals. You know why that happens? Because you have people up top who decide, hey, we've been doing too much bullshit. Let's figure this out. Man United, stop doing too much bullshit. That's all it is at the end of the day. If you don't hear anything in these 38 or so minutes, my biggest thing will always be stop doing bullshit. Stop recruiting poorly. Stop hiring poorly. Stop overspending on players. Stop buying these wash players like Christian Eriksen and stop getting all these players who are past their prime. Start looking your academy. Start looking inwards. Start looking for younger players who have a lot of potential. Stop doing bullshit. And the point blank period thing for me, I'm going to end this, is get good players. Get players who can actually cross a ball, who can make a run, who can hold up that play, who can finish a ball. Get good players who actually like the sport and can play the sport. Period. Rasmus Højlund was very green when he came to United, and he showed he's still a raw player. Stop buying these raw players. There's players in the championship right now who could do a job for Manchester United. I remember when I was watching Eze at QPR in the championship, and everybody knew how.
You said it. We said it, bro. I remember we had a conversation.
At least they at Reading, and we knew he was ready.
Wharton again. We could have had Wharton before Palace.
Warren was at Blackburn and looked amazing. There's players in League On right now, players in League Two, players in Bundesliga and Serie A. There's players in these lower leagues that you can literally buy this summer and revamp your squad because you only got one game a week this next season. One game. You better go flood your team with some talented players and better start looking for real good deals because this shit has to stop.
And also, I'll be real.
Sorry, the standards of this club has tanked horribly. There are so many people who just got into this sport recently, maybe 10 years ago, who don't know what a good Manchester United squad is. I have seen the very best Manchester United squad. I have now seen the very worst. I'm telling you right now, the standards have fucking tanked. And I hate cursing on these podcasts because I'm upset. But this is how mad I am because I fucking hate what my team has turned into. I hate the jokes that football fans make because it's stupid. You take away so much context with your dumbass memes. Shut the fuck up in 2025. Please go ahead and talk.
No, like just like I'm already getting messages and like I don't mind. Like I talk shit. I can back it. I can I can talk shit. I can give shit. But please make it make sense, right? But also I want to speak to United fans. I hate you people because you people are. I know the Pogba thing is not real. It's a thing. It's a meme. It's a made up meme. I wish it was real. I wish he said it. We need players to tell you you're fucking dumb. You're stupid. Because, like you said, the standards have dropped. You cannot tell me that you watch 70 minutes of Mason Mount and the rest of the season and want him to stay. There's no way you want Casemiro to get another contract. There's no way you want to continue. Like we won't get our money back for those players. That doesn't matter. Cut your losses. Cut your losses. Be patient and like you said, go shop in the championship. Go shop in Germany. Go shop in Italy.
France,
There's players there.
France especially.
France. Go shop in France. Kepram Turam was there for the longest. Before Ineos got us.
Yeah, this is true.
No. Yeah. Before Ineos got us, Kepram Turan was at Nice. And people are like, no, he's a little bit raw. He's a little bit raw. He's a little bit raw. So what did we do? We dropped 60 million on Casemiro. Huh? Desiree Doué was in it's not Strasbourg. Rennes. He was in Rennes. Right there. And now you people are like, wow, oh my God, where did he come from? He was there. He was there. There are players there. But you people want to turn your nose up and anything because you look at the FIFA rating. You look at the FIFA rating and be like, oh, he has 97 pace. He's good. You're not smart. The game, like, as much as you people want to be like, so and so, blah, blah, the game is played. It's a ball in your feet. Get me good players. Now, I don't care if a player can run the fastest. I don't care. Can the player play with the ball? Yes. Cool. Can he read the game? Does he have the mental capacity to read the game? Yes. I'm sick of stupid players in my team. Right? I'm sick of it. You make one or two mistakes, you're a young player, you're learning. Consistently, it's a pattern and it's your trait. And I'm not doing it anymore.
I got one more thing. 72 million pounds on Rasmus Højlund.
Fuck off. No.
60 million pounds on Mason Mount with 12 months left of his contract. 90 million pounds on Anthony. 80 million pounds on Jadon Sancho. 50 million pounds on Andre Anata. 60 million on Ogate.
How much was Casemiro? Because I know it was around like
almost 70 million. Rasmus Højlund has 61 games for United so far and 14 goals.
Oh my God.
Yeah, let's just finish this podcast.
There's no words. Like,
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to Tomi and I rant and rave about Manchester United Football Club. We love this club, which is why we're so passionate, which is why we don't do this every week. We have to do it from time to time, but today was the perfect time for us to do it. We're upset. Okay,
yeah,
we're upset. We're not mad about losing the finals to Tottenham. That's cool. We take those on the chin. You can banter us all day.
yeah.
Upset about this is 20 years of bullshit that has happened. 20 years of spending nonsense on nonsensical players. 20 years of poor mismanagement, 20 years of ownership taking money out of the club and siphoning it anyhow. If United did not have the Glazers in 2005, I promise you none of your football clubs would exist. I promise you that. But that's neither here nor there. We got to take this on the chin. With Big Summer, Ineos, pull your big boy pants on because
Let's see what you got. And also the players, you too, look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, am I good enough to play? And if you are, prove it.
we're out. Everyone take it easy. Peace.
Hey folks, this is Dean from the Shirtless Plantain Show. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and follow us on all our socials. You can see them right beneath our recordings in every video. Thanks again, and see you on the next one.